Hey guys, so in this video we are going to talk about dealing with the unknown. So let's get into it. Now, we need some context for this one. So let's get into that first and foremost. You see, at my company, currently we are preparing, we're ramping up and we're massaging the code into a state where it is ready to take on a new customer, a big customer. Big customer. Because you see, one of the things that you will realize when you are what we are, which basically is an integration platform, is that your first integration is usually a kind of B2B type of deal. You integrate to a single customer, you create some interfaces that cater in a very custom manner to that one customer, and then that's basically it. You maintain that system until you sign your next big customer. And now you have to make that journey once again. But what happens here is what's going to determine how well the next integration is going to work for you. Because you see, your instincts will tell you that as you are now really only going to add another customer to your platform. I mean, that's not a big deal, is it? Because you already have most of the code, right? And this is true. You have already done this before. And for most likely, depending on how you approach this, it may not be so tricky for you to add the second customer. But what will happen is this. One of your programmers, I'm not going to tell you who, because you probably know, maybe there's more than one, is going to utter these words. Maybe we can start reusing some of this code we already have for our new customer. That's exactly what's happened. You see, one of my co-workers has been tasked with trying to figure out a way to structure the project so that we can scale up the project, because after customer 2, customer 3 is going to come around, and then customer 4, and so forth and so forth, if everything goes as planned, which it probably will. So we have to have a way to consistently add new customers to the platform, right? And we had a talk today. He asked me over and we started talking a little bit about how we should approach this. And he showed me the work he's done so far, and it was absolutely genius. I will not bore you with all the details because it's very hard for me to relay the genius that this man has produced on behalf of our company in words. I would have to show you the code and walk you through it. But that would take way too much time. So let's just talk about the interaction between him and me at this point. So he shows me this extensible way of working, and he tells me, well, Fredrik, you see, the thing is that it's very hard for me to determine what to make into a common thing and what to make specific. Because the way that we are approaching it is, as you probably can imagine, we've had one customer right now that has very specific things that are catering to that one customer, but there are these subtle things that could be reused in the next customer's use case. So now the trick is to figure out, because we're still waiting for the specification. We haven't actually started working on customer number 2, so we don't know exactly what it is that we're going to do. We know that they want a similar thing as to the thing that we are building right now, but we don't know the specifics. So how do we deal with that? Well, as you imagine, my coworker is now trying to see, okay, what can be reused and what should be specific? Well, the emailing service, that could probably be reused. The logging, maybe. Maybe the user service. What else? And he started giving me these concepts, he's thinking about these things. And I said, well, let me just give you my take on matters. So our customers are in different countries, which means that our user model is now assuming that every user has the same data model. In other words, that a user is the same sort of entity in every country. Is that true? Well, no, because the personal number here in Sweden, for example, is different from the personal number in, say, Denmark. And some countries don't even have a personal number. So how do we deal with that? And he goes, well, yeah, that's true. We should probably have a specific user for each country maybe, and have an interface on top of that or something like that. And I go, yeah, that sounds reasonable. But you see, the thing that I want to avoid here is to do something that I think that I really enjoy talking to you, and I think that you've done a great job, but I think that this is enough. Because what you've done is that you have structured all of the package names so that they are split on country and customer in each specific country, which means that it's very scalable for us. We can add features to one customer without having to add it to another customer. Like they're not connected. They're very isolated, all of these modules that are catering to our different customers. And that's the thing that I want from this. That's the only thing I really care about at this point. And he goes, what, don't you care about reuse? No. I don't care about code reuse at this point. The reason why I don't care about code reuse right now is because I have no idea, and you don't know either, what our specification is going to be. In fact, I will argue that the safest thing you and I can do at this moment is to do what I will chop off my left arm if this isn't the first thing that happens once that first story comes in from our new customer. The first thing that's going to happen is that somebody's going to have to sit down and implement the flagship feature that we have on our project, and that programmer is going to, wait for it, copy paste the exact same module from the original customer's project, put that in a new folder in that customer, in the new customer's directory, and retrofit everything to fit that use case. Copy paste coding, guys, it always works when you need the exact same thing as somebody else has, because now you get a template that you can work from. And my coworker goes, well, yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable. And then I go, yeah, and because we know that this is most likely what's going to happen, and honestly, this is actually the safest way for us to implement these unknown features going forward, because although, yes, there is going to be a bit of code duplication, it's actually the safest way for us to move forward, because right now we don't know what we need. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. So if we start trying to predict this at this moment in time, we're simply going to most likely mess up even worse. We're going to waste a lot of time trying to build something that doesn't work out in the end. It's better for us to do the dirty thing, copy paste right once we need it. And when we have made the thing work and the customer is satisfied, then we refactor it. Then we make it reusable. Then we start looking at commonalities that we can break out into the shared folder. We don't start by trying to make something generic. We grow into it. That's the approach that we're going with. And I'm fairly certain that this will work out the best. So guys, don't let people tell you that copy pasting is always a bad thing. Sometimes it's actually the best thing for you. Have a great day.